Now we're getting into the race section here. I would have to say that all racing, whether it was cars or motorcycles, began when the first two motorcycle riders or the first two car drivers met up with each other. The race would be on. This first bike, the black one, is a 1926 dirt tracker. When you look at these bikes, it's really impressive when you understand that these guys are driving these bikes at nearly 100 miles an hour. And look closely at the front and the rear, you'll see there's no brakes. They would go around the corners and they slid the speed off by putting their foot down and throwing the bike in a long slide. Now a dirt track probably would have been on a horse track, and they could be anywhere from a short track, quarter mile, up to a mile track. And of course, the bigger the track, the faster you went. Now there was another style of racing, and it was called board track, and they actually built velodromes out of wood, and these would be a lot of like 2x4s on their sides, and the banking on these tracks would be so steep that in order to make track repairs, you'd have to be on a ladder in order to see. You couldn't stand on the tracks. One of the types of racing that actually become so popular today is the road racing. And this would have been done with fairings and lots of streamlining on the bikes. And the bike we have here today is the VR1000, which is an offshoot of the Nova project, which we'll see a little later. But it's also the beginning of the V-Rod that's sold on the showroom floor today. Now this particular bike here was ridden by Miguel Duhamel at Daytona Beach. Now we get into the Class C dirt track racing, which allowed people to buy bikes off the showroom floor and convert them to race bikes. And dirt track racing was extremely popular at this time in both Harley and Indians, where they competed regularly against each other. Now the number 22 over here, that's the WR, that was Trev's personal bike. Now he won 22 races in a row on this particular bike. And it was one of his favorites. He called it the Black Beauty. And as you walk in the front door to come up here, you'll notice a picture on the wall, and it's Trev riding this particular bike. Pretty well the final configuration of dirt track bikes by Harley-Davidson, and extremely good looking bike. And you'll notice the #1 plate. I believe that this one was actually owned by Steve Beattie, who was #1 for Canada. So now we get into the hill climbing. We got two fine examples here, a 1929 and a 1930. And what's so unique about these bikes is they actually competed against each other. And Trev rode the Harleys, and the Bush brothers rode the Indian. Now the Bush brothers were from Vancouver, and the son of one of them, Rod Bush, has restored the Indian, and I was able to get him to loan it to us to put it on display alongside Trev's Harley-Davidson. And that's a unique story, to get two bikes like this that had at one time had competed against each other.